Can anybody here guess what the very first handheld was? Can you guess what the first handheld was? The first video game handheld console. What was it? Everybody in the chat, take your time guessing. No Googling. No, I mean, you're going to Google anyway. Check. Guess. Take your best guess. He's eating through a straw now. Well, he's going to be for like fucking a week or so. Broken jaw ain't nothing to, laugh about. It hurts. You're done for a while. You're decommissioned after an accident like that. Game & Watch? Nope. Wrong. Nope, not the Game & Watch. Nope, not the Game Boy. Nope, it's not the Game & Watch. It's not the Game & Watch. Nope, it's not a calculator either. The first handheld gaming machine. It was very simplistic, but it was not the Game Boy and it was not the Game & Watch. Nope. Wow, okay. I could see why people thought I was wrong on Twitter now. If you guys think it's the Game & Watch, then I can see why people thought I was wrong. But I'm actually correct and I'm about to tell you. Nope, not the Leapfrog. Nope, not the Game Gear. Correct, Tig Dragon! The Milton Bradley Microvision! Let's go! Yeah, the Milton Bradley Microvision. Right here, ladies and gentlemen. It had a screen. It was very simplistic, but it was the first ever handheld gaming machine that had interchangeable cartridges. Interchangeable cartridges. And yeah, guess who took that idea? Of course Nintendo took that idea. Hell, because Nintendo's first handheld didn't even use cartridges. The Game & Watch didn't use cartridges. But this thing did. Wow, shit, I know, I'm old, but not that old, yeah. What, that? Yes, sir. The Microvision. Let's watch a video on it real quick because I want you to see what this thing is about. I want you to see what this thing is about because I got ratioed on Twitter, but I was correct. And let me tell you why. Look at this.
Due to its popularity, a lot of people probably think of the Game Boy as the first handheld game console.
But it's not.
10 years before the Game Boy, there was this guy, the Milton Bradley Microvision.
Look at that, the Microvision, right there. Fred, I owned one. You owned one, Power Boss? No, you didn't. Everybody in the chat say bullshit. I highly doubt Power Boss owned one. I highly doubt you owned one. You're full of shit on that. Damn, looks like I just learned something new. Huh, I should make a video on this. I should start informing people about this, because everybody
Microvision Game Boy, sorry, not sorry.
Well, no, the Game Boy is the better device, Delta. The Game Boy is obviously the better device, without a doubt, but it wasn't the first of its kind, not even close. I think the first thing Nintendo, the only thing Nintendo has ever really contributed to video games, the only thing they ever contributed was the D-pad. I think that's it. I think that was Nintendo's major contribution to video games, was the D-pad. Because that did change a lot of how we play video games. But, yeah, no. This was the first system to do it. Keep an open mind, and I learned something new even myself. Huh. Maybe I should make a video on this. I'm surprised people don't know. Wow. Because I always keep up with gaming history. I'm curious. I ask a lot of questions, and I always do research. I knew about this, but yeah.
Look, it has a knob to fiddle with. This launched in 1979.
Yeah, I play with a knob, kind of like a Pong machine.
In a few years, it's going to have its 50th birthday. Now, some of you might be thinking...
50 years old!
There were electronic games before 1979, right? And, yes, but they weren't really video games like this. They used LED lights for the displays, and if you bought one, you were stuck with that game. You couldn't change it. Whereas this uses a proper LCD screen...
It had an LCD screen! It had an LCD screen! Can you believe that? It had an LCD. It was one of the first handhelds to have an LCD screen to display proper graphics. Rejoice! Me being so correct and Twitter being wrong is the greatest feeling in the world. Wait till I show you the tweets I'm talking about. You guys are going to be screaming at the top of your lungs, but Fred is right! Because I was. But for some reason, Twitter is just stupid. Like, I don't know. They're decades behind in their knowledge of anything. I always wonder what makes
You were
people
watching
stop
James'
trying to
channel.
learn.
I like his content.
Oh, yeah. I'll say, you mean that thing that the deck had? No, not necessarily like that, Delta. No. Not necessarily like that. Yeah, no, this thing is very, very simple. Someone in chat said Nintendo didn't come up with the D-pad. I'm pretty sure Nintendo did come up with the D-pad. I'm pretty sure. Hold on, let me grab another beer. Hold on. 1 second. Beer. Can everybody in the chat scream beer? I'm back. Okay, here we go. Right here. So, James' channel is good. Nice, yeah. He beat me to this video. I always wanted to educate people on this because I feel if I'm going to be a true Nintendo hater, I have to prove. Yeah. I have to prove my points. I usually ask beer if I'm right. Beer. No, not bear. We're better than bears. We're men. Anyway, here we go.
Although the resolution is 16 by 16, and to put that into perspective, Mario here is 11 by 16 pixels, and when you jump, he becomes 14 by 16 pixels. So if you put the Game Boy Mario on this screen, you'd only have a couple of columns of pixels left for any gameplay. And look at these cartridges. They're huge. Each one has its own screen art with gameplay information and its own control layout. The actual electronics is just in the top section here behind the label. It incorporates the CPU and game code into the cartridge.
That's insanely, like, ahead of its time. Wow. Like, it was really simplistic. Like, you know, you didn't get the best resolution, you didn't get the best graphics, but it was the very concept that built the Game Boy itself. Like, the Game Boy would not exist without this. Kind of like how Zelda wouldn't exist without Ultima. You didn't know that, did you? Well, sit tight. Daddy Frit's gonna lecture you on gaming history, because I study this a lot. But yeah, no. A lot of Nintendo's ideas are directly ripped off of other people. You know? Nintendo ain't that special, Delta. I told you they're not.
Nintendo created God, therefore everything is theirs.
Yeah. Just amazed, yeah. That was very, yeah. You had compact, like, you had the electronics that you could, you know, swappable cartridges is a very unique idea that was ahead of its time. Here, anyway.
Strangely, the US games and the European games have different buttons. America had to reach through and press the membrane directly, whereas Europe got these nice plastic buttons. I had thought that the European release must have been later, so they updated the buttons to be...
Oh, wait a minute. No, there's the D-pad right there. No, I'm just kidding. Well, what we have here looks like a prototype to the D-pad. So, this proves to me that whether with or without Nintendo, game development was always going to go down this road. With or without Nintendo, video games were always going to go down this road. They were always going to eventually develop some kind of button prompts that you can move a character with, left, right, up, down. That was, I mean, right here you can even see it. Swappable games. You already see it. A little screen that you can view and play on. You already had it. Like, they were, like, the gaming industry is not like this thing that was saved by Nintendo and we're so gracious that Nintendo took over everything. Like, no. Like, from the very beginning, history was rewritten by the winners. Like, it's true what they say. The winners write history. And that's what happened. Once Nintendo won their console war, everybody really thought Nintendo did everything when they was not even close to the truth. It's insane.
be nicer, but it seems like they all came out in 1979.
It's kind of like how Alex Salt content wouldn't exist without Fred. But it's true! I still remember that day. I shouted Alex out originally because he had different content from mine. I was like, oh, people should watch this. This is different. and it wasn't working out for him, and he saw I was getting views making PlayStation fanboy videos, and then he like directly copied the thumbnail format, the jokes. He even ripped my edits straight from videos. And then he started growing, and I was like, ah, wow, Alex. Way to pull off a Nintendo.
So I'm not really sure what the story is there. Sadly, like a lot of pre-internet devices, the history of these is severely lacking online. If you've got any information that I don't share in this video, please leave a comment and let me know. The early models of the Microvision took 2 9-volt batteries.
Oh, 2 9-volt batteries? That's insane.
And that's because they were using a power-hungry CPU. But this
It had its own CPU. That's cool.
thing probably came to mind when they were designing the Zavix, because like the Zavix, the CPU is in the cartridge with the game code and everything. So when they hit CPU supply problems, they just switched to a different one. The new CPUs
Texas Instruments, they make calculators, so they switched to them.
used way less power, so they dropped back to 1 9-volt battery and relabeled the other space as a storage compartment.
Okay, that's
Now
cool.
you'd probably think it's time for gameplay, wouldn't you? But this one only makes sound. The screen doesn't work at all. So we're gonna dive into its guts first. Now the story with this Microvision is that I bought it a long time ago. The LCD was totally rotted out and there were no replacements available at that time. I eventually sold.
Like, if you have one of these, like, these are probably really rare to come across. I wonder how much they go for online. The Milton Bradley, hold on. Milton Bradley Microvision. Hey, oh, you know what? Oh, I kind of want to get one to make a video on it. They're not that expensive, so they were mass produced. That one's unopened, 1,700. I get that, but this is a very, very cool thing to have as a, like, I would love to collect one of these just to have in a collection of stuff like that. That's tight.
Sold it to a friend of mine. He stuffed around a bit trying to figure out if he could create a screen for it out of some kind of LED matrix or something, but he didn't get very far into that when reproduction LCDs became available. So he
That's cool. I mean, man, see, like, old tech is, I like how old tech can revive old concepts that then turn into new tech. I really like that about tech. I mean, I love tech. Tech is so cool. I wish I was given more tech to review for you guys and talk about, you know, but, yeah, you know, people don't exactly take a channel about a popsicle stick that says Nintendo sucks all too serious, you know? All right, time to smoke another bong. But anyway, let's...
He bought a couple of those, installed one, and it still didn't work. So now I've bought it back, and we're going to see if we can figure it out. This is the piezoelectric speaker. That's where all your beeps and farts come from. This piece is the button matrix. You can see it supports 12 buttons, and this is what you're actually pressing on when you press the game cartridge's buttons. This is called a potentiometer. It's a variable resistor. It acts as the built-in paddle controller, which is the knob on the front of the console. Under here, we've got the battery terminals and a couple of blank spaces where the extra battery terminals could go. And I can see from this why they really...
How crazy is it that within the same decade Pong was created? Within the same decade Pong was created, you already had this kind of tech transform in a small form factor. Like, you already had it. So, like, they, you know, engineers have been doing this since the beginning of time. That's why, you know, it's kind of like why it's not that impressive to me when someone puts out a handheld. It's like, bro, everybody's made a handheld at one point. Sega made one, PlayStation made one, Nintendo made one, Xbox sort of made one, you know, fucking Nokia made one, Jaguar made one, Atari made one, Neo Geo made one. Like, it goes on and on and on and on. It's just very few of them have the success that the Game Boy Advance and the Game Boy and the DS did, because, you know, they're Nintendo products. But yeah, very interesting tech history here. Yeah, dude. Have a new channel called Frit Tech. Nah, no one's gonna watch that. People don't have zero interest in me talking about other things outside of fanboy stuff. I'm not very good at delivering content. I'm not very professional, I guess you could say. I like to keep things sloppy. But anyway, let's take another bong rip. I made one at one point. Did you, Delta? You made one? I did, dude. It was pretty cool. Yeah. I'd still watch it though. Nah, you wouldn't. Shut up. Shut up. Don't get my hopes up. If I made anything else outside of gaming, you would not watch it. And YouTube wouldn't push it. I don't know. I was just born never favor. Like, I was born unfavored by the algorithm. Like, without the algorithm even existing, before I was even born, before it was even born, fate had decided, make sure that Fritanga guy is never in the algorithm. And thus, that's my life. Cursed to always be a small niche channel. Anyway. Oh. Yeah, dude. Delta! Alright, let's watch some more here.
Got rid of that battery connector. There's a huge engineering oversight here, and that's that these two...
Was that a rip? It was! Here's another one. Excellent. Yeah, dude. Wah!
Sets of contacts are in parallel, which means if you put in a battery that's full and a battery that's flat, the full battery is going to try and charge the flat, non-rechargeable battery, which could lead to explosions and all sorts. This is a terrible setup, and it's no wonder they eventually got rid of one of them, even though it halved the continuous gameplay time. On the other side of the board here, we've got a contrast adjustment for the LCD. We've got a big chip here, which is just an LCD
a contrast knob, eh? Ooh, pretty advanced.
driver, it does nothing else, and a voltage regulator, which creates...
Wow, these are some very simple boards too. Like, the tech was primitive, but it worked.
It's the right voltages for the rest of the system. The first thing I want to do is confirm the LCD is actually making contact. This clear plastic frame has a tendency to warp and cause the LCD to lose contact. The fact that it rocks on my desk is not filling me with confidence. These two strips are full of lines of conduction.
I just want to see it play, all right? Let's see it play, all right? I just want to make my point. Here we go. Here we go. So this is what the tech looks like. All right, this is the tech that I said predates Nintendo. Because I said Nintendo didn't even invent handheld gaming, and Twitter lost it. They're like, yes, they did. I'm like, no, they didn't. They did not. All right, anyway, check it out.
This microvision working. Go! Oh, I missed. The sound is so quiet, but that could be because it's raining. Put my mic down here.
It's like some kind of pond.
Blockbuster is clearly a breakout clone, and because there's only a few pixels between the top and the bottom...
Look at that! Look at that! That's gaming right there. Handheld. Predates Nintendo by like 10 years. The very concept, too. The very exact same concept. Interchangeable cartridges.
It's a pretty tricky breakout clone too. We've got D or T for the paddle size. It was T before, so I guess we'll go D. Speed, S or F. I don't want faster. So that was on slow? Man, that was already hard. Balls, 5, 3, 1. Oh, okay.
Well, you can,
9. Yeah.
So this is very, very advanced. I am legitimately impressed this thing existed in the 70s. I can't believe this actually existed. This is insane.
That's how many lives you've got. I guess I better try fast with a D paddle, whatever a D paddle is. Go. Oh, that's fast.
I thought the Game Boy was impressive, but this is impressive.
Fast. Oh.
The pixels on screen actually move at a very respectable, speed. Like, enough to at least impose a challenge. Enough to be a playable, addicting experience.
How am I supposed to play this? I'm guessing because my paddle is 2 pixels now, that D might be double and T must be triple pixels. I don't know why they didn't make it a 2 and a 3. Definitely want it on.
But anyway, let's check out some more of the interchangeable games. So there's that one. What are the other ones he has? He has this one, the Shooting Star. Let's check this one out, all right? I want to see what this is.
I'll use the American microvision because it's the one that I just put all of the effort into. Except it doesn't seem to work. What about in the Euro one? Nope. Excellent.
I mean, Frid is right. We're looking at a handheld that came out before Nintendo. I'm right. I'm right. And Twitter said I was wrong, even though Twitter was wrong.
Sup, my laddie Tomber.
You call me that again and you're banned from chat. Delta, tell him. Yeah, dude, you're banned from chat. Yeah. You better be careful.
Well, Shooting Star's not making it to its 50th. What about Sea Duel? This has got a broken clip, so it's sitting up a little bit,
Most of
but
this
never
doesn't
mind.
work.
Now, the problem I'm going to have with this game is that I don't know how to play, and
Sea Duel. Oh, you get it? It's like a battleship.
U-boat oder Zöstere
So this was a German device, or he has a German version? What is this?
in einem Seegefecht gegen einen Gegenspieler zu führen.
Where is an emulator for this? There is no emulator for it. You can't really emulate this stuff. A lot of the games were designed where the art that you displayed on the panel was also supposed to represent the game, things like that. So it's yeah. You say nuclear, you're gonna regret that. Yeah, dude.
Oder allein gegen den Computer zu spielen. I probably actually learnt some of those words in school, but not enough to actually understand what I'm reading here.
Let's check out this other
This
one.
means this game's a submarine versus a battleship. At the moment, this means the submarine's a computer player and the destroyer's a human player. You can swap it around, or you can have two human players to play two-player. Then this plus button here lets you choose how much fuel and ammunition you get. 18 means you get 18 units of each. 12 means you get 12 units of each. This is the difficulty. Firing once uses 1 unit of ammunition, and moving 1 square uses...
I mean, wow. This is exactly where Nintendo stole the idea from. This is crazy. Nintendo straight up stole this idea.
1 unit of fuel. I'm going for 18 because it's going to be easier and I've never played this before.
Because this is pretty... You know what's crazy? Is how much more... Like, you guys heard of the... You know what those Tiger games are, right? The Tiger games, they're like the little plastic with a screen. It goes beep, boop, boop, beep, boop, boop. And it's just little black and white drawings on it. It's barely a game, right? This thing is a little, like, I don't know how, but this is slightly more advanced than that. Just slightly. And it's older. I'm like, wow.
Before. The 3 dots is the destroyer and the 1 dot is the submarine. These boxes at the top are showing whose turn it is at the moment. I'm pretty sure because I've chosen 1 player, it's always just going to be in this box though. And this A and B is something to do with programming your move. I guess we'll find that out as we go. These 4 arrows are for moving, and
Hey, look, there's your D-pad.
these 4 arrows are for firing. Looking at the US version of this thing, it's way easier to understand what's going on than the Euro one. So apparently I programmed something now. Okay, I get 4 moves in the first segment, and...
So yeah, as you can see, the games are simplistic, but they predate the Game Boy and Game & Watch. They predate the Game Boy and Game & Watch.
Idea is to cover all of the single dots with large dots. This 3x3 grid of numbered buttons represents the...
game.
I should have been
showing you the games, but anyway, okay.
else. Although the...
You get the point. You get the point, right, chat? You get the point. All right, the Game Boy was not the first handheld. And yet, in spite of that, let me show you what happened to me on the Twitter. I got ratioed. I got ratioed into oblivion. Humiliated. Well, even though I was right. But check this out. Hold on. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Because I tweeted this. I tweeted, dude thinks Nintendo invented handheld gaming. Because his whole point was, look at the industry, it all does handheld stuff. I'm like, bro, handheld everything has existed long before Nintendo. Like, what the fuck? Like, dude, like, handhelds have existed for a long time, right? Nintendo did not make handhelds. Well, in spite of that, I said, dude thinks Nintendo invented handheld gaming. And then I had this happen to me. Oh, it looks like... Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, what the... Twitter removed the... They removed it? The Twitter removed the community note? That they realized I was right? Oh. Jutendo stole the idea. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Did Twitter undo the community note on my post? Did I beat Twitter? Ain't no way. Hold on. It's gotta be here. Hold on. It's gotta be in my notifications still. It's gone. Oh, wait, no. Here's a community note.
Hell yeah, brother.
It's gone! Delta! Delta! I'm doing good. Delta! Can you check for me? Ain't no fucking way! Ain't no fucking... Did I beat Twitter? This is one of those rare cases where one man was correct and everybody was wrong. Delta, check for me real quick. Can somebody go to my post and check if there's a community note? For Delta, help me! I need to know. I need to know. Did I seriously just beat the Twitter community post? Josh, you better edit this. This is a story. This is a whole video right here, Josh. Free content for you. Edit it. Get to work, little kid. Whoopsh, whoopsh. Oh, wait, that sounded wrong. I just checked. All right. It's not there. Oh, my God. It's removed. The Twitter. Oh, my God. Not beat Twitter, just beat the Nintendo fags. Oh, God dang it. Oh, you made me say it. Oh, damn you, Unforgiven. You made me say it. Fred, I can confirm you beat the community no. Oh, my God. We beat the community no. Because, look, I said, dude thinks Nintendo invented handheld gaming. And then he tweeted, he ratioed me again with 8,000. 8,000 people thought he was right. That's insane. 8,000 people assumed that this British cigarette was right. Ain't no fucking way. Because look, he took a screenshot of the community note. And he even tweeted about it. This community note deserves to be hanged. Well, guess what, bitch? I was right! You suck. You suck. This is proof that likes do not mean somebody is correct. You're witnessing it right now. You're witnessing it. If this is not entertainment to you, then I suck. To be fair, it was likely Nintendo fanboys being, no! Look, I got swarmed by people who assumed they were right. This could be, congratulations for winning Twitter. Alex is your grand prize. No! Yeah, no. Insane. Insane. People are a hive mind. People are bots. Holy shit. I mean, wow, look. It's so funny because Nintendo did invent handheld gaming with the Game & Watch. Wrong. And look at the replies. LMAO, he won't make his money from grifting. Now he can't buy Christmas gifts. Well, bitch, joke's on you. I don't buy Christmas gifts. I'm cheap. I'm poor. I don't make money. No way. Like, the only one who actually makes money off content like this is Alex. Like, I don't make a fucking dime. I barely make anything. So, joke's on you. I never bought Christmas gifts because I don't got money. Ha! Or was that joke on me? Oh, you tell me, chat. But anyway, look at the replies. I tried to stop him from making such a bad mistake, and now he's probably suspended from making money now? Well, I don't make money on Twitter either. I don't make money on Twitter. They think I make money from my Twitter posts. It's called dead internet theory for a reason, yeah. I got more notes for you, Frit. Frit is the GOAT on Twitter. I beat Twitter. I legitimately beat the mob. I was right. like, so blatantly right. It was literally one Google search away, but people were too lazy to do that. How is this even possible? Like, oh, like, are people that lazy? Oh my god. Don't ever assume one person is correct. Do some research. It's always about making money with these fanboys, yeah. I just shit post for I make $0 on the post. Yeah, I don't make any money on Twitter. Or on, I mean, I make some money on YouTube, but I don't make any money on Twitter at all. So I don't know what they're talking about. He lost grifting money for that post. Yeah, it's funny. Community notes are factually wrong. This is me, are factually wrong on this. Yeah, but anyway, he's not the only one that retweeted me saying this. There were content creators, and I'm gonna call them out in a video. There were content creators who also assumed they were right. And I'm about to embarrass their asses. I'm about to be like, is this the YouTuber you watch who talks about gaming history? Watch this. And it's just me fucking showing them that they don't know anything at all. Well, popsicles that, yeah. Yeah, anyway, so... But Nintendo invented handheld gaming. ... They didn't. He posted the Game & Watch, but the Game & Watch is younger. It's, yeah, sorry, man, but no, this is not the oldest handheld. Saying Nintendo, this is a big account too, I believe. 57,000 followers. DC, Marvel, oh, editor, oh. Novelist, oh, animation, oh, in need of more hobbies, oh, you're in need of a fucking brain, you fucking retard. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Need of more hobbies, need of some bitches. I'll tell you what, need of some. The minute these guys get their dick sucked by a chick, like the minute they get to come in a bitch's mouth, it's gonna change their life forever. They're gonna be like, oh, why was I ever a novelist? Why was I ever a DC Marvel guy? Why was I ever... What a fucking loser. Oh, that Koki guy even admitting there was way more before that. Yeah. And look at this Jolly guy. I'm double his flipping age. Yeah. Look at this guy. Saying Nintendo didn't invent handheld is as pointless as saying Apple didn't invent smartphones. That's not a gotcha! I mean, except in this case it is. Nintendo still pioneered the handheld market and created the formulas that PlayStation and Xbox would later emulate. Yeah, but Nintendo was emulating this idea from the beginning. They didn't invent it. They didn't even invent, they didn't even invent an actual screen with pixels on it either. Like, they didn't do any of that. They didn't even invent interchangeable cartridges. They didn't even invent that. Like, truth is, Nintendo is not as brilliant as you thought. Celebrate the W with pizza. I'm not clicking on that link, Unforgiven. I don't trust you. I don't trust you. Send that to me in a DM if it's pizza. You piece of shit. I know what you're doing. Nintendo didn't invent handheld. They just took an idea with Microvision. Exactly. Microvision, like, you know, if you gave a company like that more, like, if they had success, they would have probably ended up having a very Game Boy-like system eventually. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I thought the Game & Watch was the first handheld, but I can confirm I'm wrong. Yeah. Exactly. But anyway, Frit
What
was
up,
right.
a bundle of sticks?
7,000 likes. Everybody assumed that was wrong. This is amazing. Like, so this is how fast, so what we're seeing here is how fast misinformation travels. And it travels really fucking fast. Like, you know, anyway, Power Boss sent me something. There were handheld gamings before. Wait a minute, is there a new community note? Hold on. Anyway. Oh, look, the person, yeah, look, see, this person says the person who wrote the community note is definitely a Nintendo glazer. Yeah, they're wrong. Yeah. Yeah, dude, like, people really thought I was wrong on this one. They're just like, he has to be wrong. There's no way. I'm like, no, you're wrong. Yeah. Wow. And anyway, this post really just goes to show you how misinformed Nintendo guys are on gaming history. They legitimately believe that gaming history began and dies with Nintendo. They think that's how the world operates. It's insane. Yeah. Actually, the first console to ever use interchangeable cartridges was the Channel F, which was a console made by a black man. A black... Source. Imagine if he got a community note. Yeah. Nintendo weren't even the first to make home console with interchangeable game cartridge. Yeah, I know about that. Atari was doing that before, but they weren't even the first to do a handheld with interchangeable cartridges. They weren't even the first. It's insane, yeah. Yeah, man, this echo chamber is fucking ridiculous. It's all about being in a circle jerk and ignoring the facts. Then again, they expect us to not talk smack about Nintendo and be happy, like it's fascism. I mean, yeah, you know, they do have that mentality, don't they? Yeah. All right, research check, yeah. I beat Twitter, though. Let it be known on this day. Fritanga defeated the mob. I was actually the correct one, and everybody was wrong. You know you can't win against me when the community notes can't be... Not even the community notes. Not even Elon Musk. That's right. Elon Musk and his programming can't beat Frit. I'm ahead of the curve. Yeah, you know I am. What is funny is Apple wasn't the first smartphone. IBM in 1994 was the first. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. One of these days, you'll see Nintendo fanboys claim Nintendo invented 3D. They think Nintendo invented VR. They think the Virtual Boy is the first VR headset too. It's funny. Be careful. Musk may have you deported if you make fun of him. Oh, I'm not really making fun of Musk. You know, more or less making fun of the Nintendo guy. The Simptendo pit might as well claim Mr. Beast invented chocolate. I know, right? But to be this right, like, I had to actually stand by what I said. I stood by what I said. And look, everybody in the replies is even telling him. Everybody in the replies is telling him, look, they're all telling him, oh no, is this one? Yeah. Oh no, this is the wrong one. But yeah. Anyway, either way, you get the point. I'm right. He's wrong.